Solomon, the littlest bear. Solomon was a tiny little bear. Truth be told, he was the smallest bear in all of Bear Paw Forest. One day, he took to measuring himself with his mama's ruler, and wouldn't you know it, he weren't no bigger than a foot tall. He hadn't grown a whisker in 4 years, while all the other bears his age done got much bigger than him. The forest animals that knew Solomon, they was used to him being small for a bear. Some of the other bears poked fun at him, and some reckoned Solomon couldn't do much on account of his size. This made Solomon mighty sad. Sure as sunshine, Solomon's parents taught him how to handle them bears that teased him. When the other bears would make fun of him, Solomon would just sigh and go about his business. Solomon's ma and pa always told him, "You can do anything you set your mind to, no matter how big or small you are." Solomon decided to mosey over to his cousin's place for a bit, reckoning he'd visit a few hours. As he was heading down the trail that led yonder to his cousin's house, he heard some critters yapping about an old mountain lion coming back to Bear Paw Forest. This weren't happy news, as this mountain lion was meaner than a wet hornet, but not like other mountain lions. Folks called him nasty. This big old cat would pick on anything that moved. He'd find what bothered you and pester you about it till kingdom come. Most bears tried to steer clear of this nasty feller as quick as they could. Now, while Solomon was meandering down the trail, Nasty just happened to be lurking in the shadows, watching him from behind the trees. Nasty was amazed how tiny this little bear was. That old mountain lion, Nasty thought it would be a fun idea to mess with the little bear, and done snuck ahead on the path and popped out of the trees. Nasty pretended to bump right into him, like it was some chance meeting. Nasty was smiling bigger than a half a moon after having such a tiny bear came a-walking along. He'd never laid eyes on what looks to be a bear this old while being this small before. When Nasty looked Solomon over, he started cackling like a hyena.
"Well, I'll be,"
Nasty hollered.
"What tarnation are you? Some kind of wind-up toy teddy bear?"
Solomon looked up, as calm as can be.
"That ain't so nasty. I'm a real bear, sure as sunshine."
Nasty was right surprised that Solomon had so much gumption and didn't hightail it out of there, being so small compared to him. Nasty asked,
"Are you sure you ain't just a talking baby bear?"
Without taking a breath, Nasty asked Solomon.
"Did you done crawl out of a Cracker Jack box?"
Solomon didn't know what in tarnation a Cracker Jack box was, but it didn't sound none too friendly. So he just kept on walking to his cousin's house. Nasty kept yapping as he was laughing away until Solomon was out of earshot. Later that day, Solomon was heading back from his cousin's house when he came upon quite a sight. There was Nasty, laid out in the path, his foot caught tight under some rocks from a fresh rock slide. Without a thought, Solomon tried to help poor old Nasty.
"What in tarnation happened to you?"
Solomon asked, curious as a fox. Nasty, looking mighty frustrated, answered,
"Well, I was busy making fun of a three-eyed horny toad, and wouldn't you know it, I must have been laughing so loud I caused myself a rock slide. Now my foot stuck tighter than a bark on a tree, and it's a tad bit too heavy for me to pull my dead-gum foot out. Don't know why I'm even telling you. Ain't like you could do a thing about it nohow."
Solomon pondered for a moment, looked right into Nasty's eyes, and said,
I tell you what, let us make us a deal. What sort of deal could a little bitty thing like you offer?
Nasty questioned, skeptical as can be.
If I get your foot out from under them rocks, you gotta call me by my proper name, which is Solomon, and stop picking on me and all the other critters on these parts.
Nasty's eyes got real thin like and looked at Solomon in disbelief.
If you can get me out from under these here rocks, you got yourself a deal. But seeing as how that ain't going to happen, you best get them little legs of yours moving and fetch some real help. Get to stepping. This rock is hurting my poor little old foot something fierce. And land sakes, now that I think about it, I bet my foot's bigger than you are.
Nasty started chuckling, but it turned into a whimper right quick on account of the pain. He moseyed away, and just like that, disappeared in the trees. Quick as a cricket, the little bear came back with a long stick, sturdy as an oak. Clever as could be, he wedged one end under that there rock near Nasty's foot. By Joe, before Nasty could blink twice, the tiny bear was dangling in the air, holding on for dear life, as his body that weighed no more than a tick on a dog's ear got heavier the closer he got at the end of that stick, and as sure as it could be, moved that big rock right off of old Nasty's foot. Nasty jumped up as fast as a coyote in a hen house and scooped Solomon up like he was precious as gold and lifted him in the air more excited than a squirrel in a walnut tree.
How in tarnation did you think of that?
Nasty asked. Solomon replied, gentle as a summer breeze,
Just because I'm small don't mean I can't do nothing.
As Solomon started heading home, Nasty walked alongside him for a bit. Solomon boldly spoke up.
I reckon if you decided to be more kind to others, you'd be good at blessing everybody around here.
Nobody had ever spoken to Nasty like that before.
Well, now thank you, Solomon, for helping me,
Nasty said, and shook Solomon's paw. It was the first time in his whole life that Nasty had said thank you to anybody. No one had ever done him a kindness before. From that day on, Nasty called Solomon by his proper name and stopped his teasing ways. Word spread through Bear Paw Forest that Nasty had turned over a new leaf, helping folks instead of pestering them. If you can believe it, he even changed his name to Howdy. These days, all the bears and critters in the woods have taken a shine to that old mountain lion, and it's all on account of a little bear named Solomon, who proved that the size of your heart matters a heap more than how big you are.